My name is Joe Friend. I'm sure y'all heard that by now a couple times. But I was born and raised in Little Rock, Arkansas, in a Catholic family, a loving family. I have a father, Dr. Gerald Friend, who's a dentist, and then my loving mother, Betty, and then my older brother, who is also in seminary at the St. Mindred. And I entered before him, so I'm his spiritual older brother. So that's how we're working right now. So he's not quite on my level. But,
y'all at the same one as he at?
He's at St. Mindred up in Indiana. He's in pre-theology, so he went through 4 years of college. And then my older sister is a senior at Benedictine College in Atchison, Kansas. I'm sure a lot of people at the University of Dallas know that place. But yeah, that was my family. And I always talk about, when I talk about my vocation, my family was the lens in which I was able to see my vocation. Just the love and the joy that they brought me just kind of developed me as a human person. So as a child growing up, my father taught me to have a relationship with the Lord, and my mother taught me how to love the Lord. And back then, I'm sure y'all experienced, faith was easy when you're just a little kid. You're like, oh man, I believe that. Like, that's what I love that. It's awesome. And then, so I just had a very profound spiritual life that I'm trying to obtain that, and I'll give out an example of why I'm doing that later in my story. But I remember this one particular night. When I was a child, I would cry a lot when I prayed, and 5th, 6th grade. And I say that I played tag with God, but how God plays tag is when He called me when I was in 7th grade. He touched me, he tagged me, and then God keeps tagging until you go after Him back. So I just remember. I was probably 4th grade, but I remember oh man, Lord, I think it'd be cool to be a priest. I have an uncle that's a priest. And I was I think it'd be cool. And it was about to snow. We were thinking tomorrow was a snow day, and so I was sitting on my bed, and I was like, all right, God, I'm going to serve you. I was like, let tomorrow be a snow day. I was like, I promise, Lord, I want to serve you. I want to be with you. And I just remember I was crying or something. I was just so angry. I was like, tomorrow might be a snow day. This is going to be crazy. So I wake up, and there's no snow on the ground. No snow on the ground. I roll out of bed. I say a morning prayer. I'm like, Lord, what's going on? And I just kind of thought a minute. He was like, are you still willing to serve me? He just kind of popped that question, and I was like, okay, you got me. So that's how, my faith, I loved, as a child, just how easy things were. We loved the Lord. We just had childlike hearts, which we try and obtain the rest of our life. And so, that developed, and I told my close friends, I was like, man, priesthood would be pretty cool. That'd be a cool thing to do, and they respected that. And then in 7th grade was the first time I felt the Lord, and I felt the Lord calling me. And I was kneeling down directly in line it was during the Eucharistic prayer as He lifted up the host, the veneration of the Eucharist, and I just kind of looked there, and in this chapel that I was at Mass, behind the priest was a mosaic of Christ, just with the chalice and the body. And His eyes were directly over the bread, the body, as it was lifted up. I just kind of looked, and I was paralyzed by this, something in my soul, and I just froze. I was standing there in the eyes of Christ in the mosaic, and It said, come follow me. And just this message would repeat in my head, and I started crying. And not loud, but tears were flowing. I was like, oh, this is so embarrassing. So I'm sitting there kneeling, and my brother was actually, he was in the play, and so it's the whole cast, and it was connected with their school play, and so everyone went to Mass afterwards. And so I was with all these older people, 5 years older than me, who's this young guy? So, that's when I first felt Him, and that developed through 8th grade, through confirmation. But, here's where I hit the roller coaster. I was a big sports guy. I love sports, and, Jesus was always first in my life. And, high school hit, and then all of a sudden developing, I'm playing well, and make the varsity team like second part of my freshman year. And all of a sudden, God's here, sports is here, and all of a sudden they're coming a little bit more even, a little bit more even. And so eventually, myself, my talents became my God. And I don't know why this happened within my life, but I just became selfish. And like we were talking about last night, the Lord loves us. It's our duty to respond to that love. And I stopped responding. God was still tagging me, but I wasn't going back at him. I wasn't trying to tag him back. And so I kind of went to a dark place, and it was a bad time because I'm sure y'all know in high school, temptations come around. You got alcohol, you got weed, drugs. I'm just straight up with y'all because I love talking with people in high school because y'all know everything. I don't have to hide anything. Y'all got a lot of stuff going on in your lives. And I was in a bad place. I was all about sports, having a hot girlfriend, like having a cool car, going to parties. And I allowed myself to buy into that. And I was really became like a functional atheist because God was there, but the way I was living my life, I had I just wasn't online with him at all. And I was in a dark way with some worse people. And I lived that way until my junior year. But guys, just what Jimmy was saying, you're not fulfilled unless you just really respond to God's will in your life. And I just remember you'd go out, you drink hard, and it's shameful to say, it's embarrassing. And thinking that I was like, that's cool, I'm like with all these cool people. And it's what y'all have here. I think I was telling Harrison, and I think Amelia might have been there, but I was talking about it was you and Christian, and just like how proud I am that y'all have the Lord in high school. Like I didn't have that. He was there for me, but I wasn't responding to his love. And I really fell apart, and I allowed myself to live that way because I was always a good guy. I was nice to people. I was kind to my girlfriend at the time, and I was respectful to parents, but. So I kind of allowed myself to escape out. I was like, spiritual life's there, but I'm a good guy. I can still do this. I'm a good guy. And so I let myself kind of think that way. And God sobered me up big time. You said 6 months, 2 years. With this grandfather, plays a big part of my life. Right when junior year was done, I remember the state tournament in baseball we just finished. We came in second, heartbroken. But junior year, a couple weeks in the summer, my mom started feeling real sick. She was in bed, and she wasn't getting out. And we went to the doctor, took a couple tests, and never forget this. I'm driving to the hospital. My dad calls. He says, "Joe, your mom's got cancer." And that moment, just a thud to the chest. At that, with where I was in my life, I said, "God, I'll see you later. I'm not going to talk to you right now." And so I just kind of continued the way I was living, but I never knew that the Lord was going to use my mother to bring me back to where I needed to be. The Lord gave me a saint in my mother. Never forget. Every time we go to the doctor, how cancer works, it's just awful. They gave my mom 3 to 6 months to live. So we're sitting there heartbroken. But when the doctor initially gave the diagnosis, I looked in my mom's eyes. She was looking at all of us, all our kids, her husband, and she said, "I got this because my Lord holds me, and my God protects me." And she didn't shed a tear. She was strong. She had a relationship with the Lord. And I saw that, and I still continue to see it like God see it. I allowed myself to do that until the beginning of senior year. But, just a couple stories, just going through this thing with my mom. She just had this profound faith where nothing scared her. I was always kind of worried about myself, but she had her life, at the last few months of her life always just loved the Lord, and she knew that His plan was going to be fulfilled. She knew that He loved her, and she was responding to that love. She was comforted in her faith. And we, as the disease progressed, there's like she got last rites a couple times, and there is a special form of the Eucharist. I'm not completely sure the term, but it's like one of the last times you can receive the Eucharist. It's combined with anointing of the sick, and it was this moment where I really felt like I opened back to the Lord. But the Bishop Taylor of the Diocese of Little Rock came to our house, and he came with the Eucharist. And I remember he held the Eucharist up to her mom, and she was kind of weak. She was down to 89 pounds or something. She had a big tumor on her back that was just protruding, and she was kind of laying down. And I'll never forget this moment, but she kind of she would receive the body in her hands because it was just easier. She could barely open her mouth, and as she was bringing it up, she held it on her lips for a second, just kind of trembling, just holding on her lips. And before she, ate the body of Christ. And I just saw tears flowing down her eyes. And she at that moment she knew she was about to see the Lord. He was right there. And she knew she was on her way home. A couple, I guess that was. It was towards the end of my senior year, and or towards the beginning of my senior year, and it's kind of started to change toward a relationship with Christ. And as I came back, it was a very gradual thing. I was very hesitant with him because I was like, man, I don't want you to hurt me again. So I was like, take a step. I'd start thinking about him. That's how I started back. I was like, all right, God, all right, you try, you love me. I'm going to work with my relationship with you. And then just trying to develop that into just saying in Our Father again every night. And then just developing that into, trying to get that relationship that I had when I was a kid. That childlike heart where I was just in tears. I was like, man, God, I can feel you, man. You're with me. I was trying to get back there. And so, that developed, and then all of a sudden God tagged me again. St. Francis of Assisi is my man. He's the coolest. And he had this strong, above his humility, he had this strong love for the crucifix. Just this amazing love for the crucifix. And there's a picture that I saw of him kneeling and holding the crucifix, and just with the same eyes that my mom had as she got the body of Christ for the last time. And at this time, God tagged me again, and I was just kind of contemplating, looking at this picture, and God kind of came in my head. He goes, "Are you not willing to die for me?" He's like, "Quit living for yourself." And I was just like, okay. It's weird how he speaks, because it's not a voice. It's just this message that will jam in your head, and you're just wakes you up with simple words. And at that moment, I had to be a man. I had to stand up and say yes to my call. And I talked to our assistant vocation director, and just talked about where I was headed. And so I ended up entering seminary, and it wasn't like a bang, like I'm in, but it was just, like I said, this gradual movement toward building my relationship with Christ again. And so I've entered this first year, and it was rough. I had to go home a bunch. My mom was still fighting. And she passed away in March 1st. And, I was with my seminary brothers, and, I know God needed me there, because if I was at the University of Arkansas with my friends, we lived the same way. And that would not be healthy, because I know exactly what I'd be doing right now if I had to deal with the death of my mother in a place like that. So being in the seminary just nurtures my soul. Being on Holy Trinity, we call each other the dogs. We're with each other. We're there for each other. We're brothers. We are brothers. And I'm trying to work on responding to God's love like I was when I was a kid. that's still where I am at, you know, and I have some, you know, stuff in the past that makes things challenging being in the seminary, just the lifestyle I lived. But, you know, this is fulfilling, you know, sitting with y'all yesterday, hearing y'all, like, give y'all's thoughts and teaching me. I mean, I went home last night, lay down in my bed, I have this awesome picture of Christ beside my bed. And I was just thinking of all the things y'all were saying. Like, I think his name was Michael, but he brought up how he saw the Trinity in the Word and how the Word is God personified. And he was just kind of, so that's kind of how the Trinity works, like at least with God and the Father. And so it's just like, and y'all's insights were just amazing. And so I just really, I mean, I just reflected on that last night. So I wanted to tell you, like, we're not here to teach y'all. I mean, at least I'm not. But, like, I'm walking with y'all, man. For sure, so I'm looking forward to it, but, you know, this, if I didn't have guys like Jimmy and the guys in my grade, you know, they've really just been, you know, full support, and we don't really have to talk about my mom a lot, but just knowing that they have my back, you know, I'm able in chapel, you know, I cry sometimes, and now I know people are just like, oh, you know, they do not judge me or anything, you know, they know what's going on, so it's a really beautiful thing, and so that's what I'm at right now. It's good to be here.